Hello, besties. It's Honeybee. Welcome to my couch. Today I am talking about Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is the first and so far only Ali Hazelwood book that I have read. Have some thoughts. And as your sommelier, this book pairs well with a protein bar and some mild to moderate physical activity. So my initial review of Deep End is it was pretty good. Like it wasn't like the best smut I've ever read. Also for like how much they talked about like BDSM and preferences and things, it felt very mild. Like it's like they talked a big game and then it kind of fell a little bit flat in that regard. As far as rating, on Storygraph, I gave Deep End a 4.5 star. On Goodreads, I did round down and gave it 4 stars. Again, I really like how Storygraph just gives a lot more flexibility with their rating system because this was not a 5-star read, but it was very good. And I did have a good time, and I thought the characters were very realistic and very well written, even characters that were not Scarlet, our main character. So this book, at like a baseline, it's about Scarlet. She is a diving athlete at Stanford. And then there's Lucas. He is like the swim captain, and he's like the best swimmer and a freak of nature and like Olympic level, but he's from Sweden, so he does Olympics for the Swedish Olympics, whatever. Again, it was a very good book. It just wasn't like top of the scale for me. Also, this book is so pretty. Like the waves on the sprayed edges, the colors of the book itself. I feel like this like purple blue is like my go-to color scheme for like anything. Love these colors. I don't want to say like don't judge a book by its cover, but like this book is very pretty. One of the things that I can really commend Ali Hazelwood for doing very well in this book is a lot of the dialogue. It genuinely feels like I am listening to overheard conversations by a bunch of college kids. Like there's, I want to say slang, but it's not like that much slang, but it's also like very realistic dialogue. Like very much how you would expect a group of college students talking, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to get into the spoilery recap. So if you do not want spoilers, this is your chance to not get spoiled. But I will kind of give a recap of this book. So in Deep End, it opens with Scarlet. She is coming back to diving after an injury that happened during like one of her first competitions or like state level, national level competitions her freshman year, and she is now a junior. And she's just starting the season. So she had to take a whole year off because she had like a concussion, she tore her shoulder, like a whole bunch of nasty stuff. And recently she has a like mental block where like one of the 6 dives that she has to do, she just can't do. She's got a complete mental block and she's trying to work through being able to do this dive again. And her friend, is it Penelope, I think? Yeah, Pen. They call everybody like by a nickname. So it's like Luke and Scar and Pen. So Pen had been dating Lucas for years, like since they were both 16, and they are now like junior, senior, college level athletes. So they'd been together for a long time. And Pen breaks up with him because Lucas is interested in like BDSM and different things. And Pen's like, well, I'm going to try it. But she's like, did not really work out. Like, I didn't enjoy it. And he was just like, that's fine. And Scarlett has a conversation with Penn about BDSM because Scarlett's into that kind of stuff. And she's like, Penn gets drunk at a party. And it's like, oh my goodness, you two should do stuff together because you're both into the same things. And it turns out that Scarlett ends up doing the same like research thing with a professor that Luke is doing. It's a whole thing. So they end up like basically reviewing each other's notes as to like what each person is into. And they start a physical relationship, but Penn hasn't told anybody that her and Luke broke up. She's like, we're gonna tell people eventually, but I don't want to upset the whole team. Like, we're still one team. Like, diving and swimming is kind of like one whole team. It's a whole thing. Scarlett is never doing like, what is it called? Synchronized diving, because she's always been the odd man out. But then Penn's partner gets injured and Scarlett ends up being her synchronized diving partner, and they have to practice diving together. Luke helps Scarlett get over her block. And again, as much as they talk about like going over their preferences for like BDSM and power play and that kind of stuff, descriptions of it are very like mid. Like, I was like, oh good, I'm ready for some spice. And it was just kind of like, huh, oh okay, oh, he left a hickey on her thigh, oh no, oh ouchie, it hurt a little bit, okay. Like, it was just that sounds so bad. Like, I've read so much build that like this was tame. Listen, if you read Den of Vipers, anything can be tame. But again, like, I don't want to say that took away from the book, but it was like they talked a big game, and it was just kind of like, cool. So one of the things that Lucas, like, they go at it for the first time, and then Lucas like ghosts her, and she's like, well, I understand when I'm not wanted. I can read the room. But it actually turns out that he kind of does this thing where he gets like too obsessed with something. He tries to like prove he can go without it, to like prove that he's stronger than like whatever he's doing. So he tries to go 15 days without talking to her because he thinks that like he can prove to himself that like he doesn't need her. But like, that's when he falls. He falls so fast and so hard, and she does not understand. Because she thinks, like, no, he's still in love with Penn, it's fine. But like, Penn always talks about, it's like, he's so cold, he barely shows any emotion. It's like, he shows emotion all the time. Like, what is happening? It's like, no, he just didn't like Penn like that. But he was like with her because Penn had helped him get through the fact that like his mom passed away when he was like at a competition, and he couldn't get to her because he was in the middle of a competition. So like, that's a whole thing. He's got trauma. You know, we love a male main character with trauma. So it's basically a whole bunch of like her not reading the room or not understanding how much he cares for her, despite how many times he's tried to tell her. But she's like, I can't do that to Penn. I can't do that to Penn. And like, and Penn does have like a blow up where when she realizes that like they're not just hooking up, it's a lot more than that, and or at least Luke really likes her. She's like, I can't believe you would steal my boyfriend. It's like, you were thrilled that we were together, and that's a whole thing. And a lot of people like are mad at her about it, and then like she ends up doing the Olympic trials. And they both are in pre-med trying to become doctors, and that's a whole thing. So like, Scarlett's like, I want to go to med school with you. And it's like, I thought you were going to like defer your enrollment to med school so that way you could spend more time doing swimming. And he's like, nah, like, I'm good. Like, after this Olympics, like, I'm good. I'm not going to defer med school. Like, I want to get started on my life. Like, I do want to become a doctor. Just like, oh, okay. But they do end up going to I'm pretty sure they start like med school together. The very like, it's a whole thing. Like the very end is very sweet. Lucas is a doctor. She's finishing med school. I think it's like, there's a whole bit where it's like, they're having like a conversation where it's like, oh, someone brings up it's like, oh, do you miss swimming? Not really, no. Interesting, you know, there's an orthopedic resident who used to be an Olympian a few years ago, like in Paris. It's like, no, it's Melbourne. Diving, I think. She and her partner got a bronze medal. It was a silver medal. Do you know of her? It's like, yeah, I'm familiar. It's literally his fiance. And then like they're planning their wedding, and it's really sweet. Oh, silly me, I forgot. He goes back to like Sweden. Somehow they have their location shared on each other's phones or whatever. That is a good thing if you have friends and like you want to be safe, especially like college. Like, not that I'm saying you should share your location with like someone you're in a relationship with, but like you should have a friend or two that have your location that you trust in case something happens. So anyway, she finds that his location is Sweden because she was gonna be like, I need to go tell him. Because one of the things that Lucas says to her like pretty early on is like, if you tell me to stop, I will stop. All of this will stop. And because she's so emotional and because like Penn blew up at her, she says, stop. Like they're not even doing it at that moment. She's just like, stop. I need you to leave me alone. I need space. And she does. She gets the space she needs. And Penn apologizes. She's like, I'm so sorry. You guys are the better couple. I just didn't realize it. I just didn't want to lose my best friend. Her best friend's Luke. And she thought she was losing like her boyfriend, but like they didn't really mesh well together anyway. So Scarlett's like, I gotta go tell him how I feel. Finally, right? Freaking finally. So she goes to see where he is. He's like, oh, is he on campus still? No, he's in Sweden. So she gets on a plane, texts his brother, who she had met at one point, and was like, I'm on my way. Pick me up from the airport. And they pick her up from the airport. And like when they get there, Luke's like waiting outside. She's like, did you tell Luke I was coming? He's like, no, I didn't. Luke's like, I can't go to sleep at night not knowing if you're like safe somewhere. So he checks her location. So he saw that she was on her way and was waiting for her. And she tells him how she feels, and it's really sweet. Yeah, no, it was something. It was a very cute book. Again, for me, not a 5-star read, but it's not a bad book by any means. I rated it, again, 4.5 stars on Storygraph and 4 stars on Goodreads because I didn't have the flexibility to do a half of a star. But it wasn't quite a 5-star read. Still very good. Still recommend. I do want to read some more Ali Hazelwood books in the future. If there's any that anyone recommends, let me know in the comments. Looking forward to some more works by Ali Hazelwood. If they're spicier, the better. Again, not that this one was bad. It was just like they like hyped it up like, oh, it's crazy stuff they're into. I was like, that's pretty mid. So yeah. So thank you for listening to me talk about Deep End poorly and jump all over the place. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, Chappy. Yeah. Come on. Pick a spot. There you go.